What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. So there's been a lot of talk about Kevin Durant and how he will be traded this offseason more than likely. It's like a 99% chance that it's going to happen. I already did a Kevin Durant Timberwolves rebuild, and now I want to talk about the other team that I think he could potentially be traded to. So obviously the vibes in Dallas are not great. We're all very aware of why that is. The injury bug has hit them, and they also traded a 25-year-old superstar at the deadline. We're all very aware of what things look like right now for them. But there was a little bit of a report that the Mavericks wanted to pair Kevin Durant with Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis, and it sounds like there's been discussions about it. So I truly think that Kevin Durant's either going to be a Timberwolf this offseason or a Dallas Maverick. That's literally my guess. I could be wrong. But since we've already done the Kevin Durant Timberwolf side, or not side, but we did a video on that a couple weeks ago. Now we're going to jump in and do a Kevin Durant Dallas Mavericks rebuild, pairing a big three of AD, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. YouTube tells me about 57% of the people that watch these videos aren't actually subscribed. So if you do fall into that 57%, want to change that as we're on the road to 50,000, that'd be greatly appreciated. So clearly this roster right now, well, they're the 10th seed, I believe, as I'm recording this, and they're actually getting blown out by the Kings at the moment too, which is devastating for them. I know Kyrie Irving left the game early or something, but Anthony Davis, of course, got hurt 3 quarters in. He looked phenomenal before that. Lively's been out for a while. Gafford just got hurt recently as well. The injury bug has been pretty brutal to them for sure. But we're going to go ahead and some of the rest of year one, and we'll talk about what the potential trade package could look like for the Dallas Mavericks, of course. In trading for Kevin Durant, I think the Mavericks, as far as what they could offer, I think if the Suns wanted their package, that would mean Devin Booker was staying. I don't know. We'll talk about it. Let's just get to the offseason. We kind of evaluate what the full trade package looks like because I don't even have it at the top of my head at the moment. But I will see you guys obviously in the at the end of year one, where we'll see where this team finishes out. I know AD, I'm not even sure when he's supposed to be back, but 2K wants to make them all healthy, so whatever. They end up winning a championship in year one usually. So let's see if that ends up being the case, and then we could trade for Kevin Durant in the offseason. At the end of year one, Jokic wins MVP. Sar is your rookie of the year. Naz Reid is your 6th man. Defensive player goes to Giannis, and Amin Thompson most improved, and Trae Young is your clutch player. So here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second team, and All-NBA third team, Offensive first team, and All-Defense second team, All-Rookie team, and All-Rookie second team. So we end up as the 4th seed in the West, obviously despite being really bad or not really bad, but kind of mid at one point. But obviously once guys got healthy, that changed a lot of what was happening for us. Also, I will warn you right now for this video, I have put Kyrie Irving, AD, and Kyrie Irving's pick end age super high to where they won't regress like crazy throughout the video. That way, this video has some shelf life because Anthony Davis regresses pretty badly in 2K. Kyrie Irving, I don't think progresses very well either. Obviously, he starts regressing quite a bit. So, yeah, I'm just warning you that is the case. But now we get to play Timberwolves. So, like I said, these are the 2 teams I really think will be in on Kevin Durant this offseason. And we can actually maybe fix the rotation a little bit. So, Klay Thompson, Christie, who's been phenomenal for Dallas, obviously. AD, Gafford, Lively, Washington, Najee Marshall, and Spencer Dinwiddie lines of the rotation. So, tonight ground against Minnesota, and we will lose in 6. So, we're going to lose in round 1. Phoenix, of course, is not even in the play-in tournament or the playoffs. Well, I guess, I could have said that backwards, but you know what I mean. So let's see who goes on to win it all. It's going to be Boston and Minnesota, and the Timberwolves go on to win it all with Anthony Edwards as your finals MVP. So LeBron James is going to call it, but I'm going to make sure he doesn't. Is Klay Thompson going to call it? Sometimes he does, but doesn't look like this time he will. So let's go to the lottery. Maybe it's next offseason he does that. But lottery time, although I don't believe we have a pick this offseason. Spurs get their 1 pick via the Hawks, which is crazy. The Hawks won the lottery 2 years in a row, but this time they're giving their pick to the Spurs. So the Spurs get to add Cooper Flag. So that's going to be fun, I guess, throughout this video. It's going to be tough competition for us. The Jazz, number 2. The Wizards, 3. Blazers, 4. Hornets, 5. And is our pick headed elsewhere? Do we have it? I'm actually not 100% sure. No, we have our pick. So 23rd overall selection. So that will probably be part of the trade package. So let's go make the trade for Kevin Durant. And let's talk about what it could look like because I don't even really have it at the top of my head. I know there's quite a few depth pieces Dallas has to throw in to make this happen. So we shall see if we can build something out that makes sense for Phoenix to want. But that should be interesting to see if we have anything that will make sense. But we're going to make something happen. So this is kind of what the trade package could be centered around. It also could be Lively instead of Gafford. But I'm going to put Gafford in the trade instead. But Lively could make more sense for Phoenix to want. Durant's still Durant. Like, we can't ignore that. He's still a damn good player. So it's going to cost something to bring him in. But will it be Lively or Gafford? I guess that remains to be seen. I'm going to keep Lively for this one, but I'm not opposed to you telling me in the comment section if you do that it should be Lively. I wouldn't argue with you. Now, the question is, does it become Max Christie or does it become Najee Marshall? Is that the last piece in this trade? Because that's what we need to obviously match the salary. Klay Thompson could be in it in theory, but I don't think Phoenix would really want Klay Thompson, but maybe they would. So Marshall or Christie, because Christie's been so good for Dallas, I'm going to try to keep him in this video, but again, I would not argue with you if you thought it should be Max Christie instead. Maybe it's Max Christie and Lively. Is this trade package kind of not good? Maybe. I could get behind you with that, but for this video, to make it fun, I'm keeping Lively and I'm keeping Max Christie and giving Dallas something to cheer about, right? So let's go ahead and make this happen. They will decline it, but for this video, we're going to make it go through. So Durant is now a Dallas Maverick to form with Durant, or to form with Kyrie, Anthony Davis. So that should make for a very fun video for the rest of the way. So Kyrie even declines his player option. So obviously Kyrie has all the leverage in the world when it comes to Dallas, because if he were to try to leave, Dallas would be absolutely screwed. Like, what are they going to do if Kyrie Irving just left for nothing? It would be brutal. What he could do, though, is technically take a pay cut, which allows Dallas to, bring in Kevin Durant, which I definitely see a possibility of that happening. Kessler Edwards, Brandon Williams, won't worry about them too much, but obviously Kyrie Irving becomes the #1 priority here. He has no good offers right now, so we can come in somewhat low. Let's say he takes 45 on the dot or something like that on a 5-year deal. But like I said, Kyrie's going to get money this offseason. There's no way Dallas can let him walk for nothing. I mean, they could, I guess, if maybe the conspiracy is true about them just trying to piss off Mavericks fans to move to Vegas or whatever. But I'm not going to let him go in this one, technically. So we're going to move Kevin Durant, obviously, to a small forward now. So our depth becomes problematic with the trade we just made, but we'll figure it out. So Kyrie will become the point guard. Max Christie. Klay Thompson will start or come off the bench at shooting guard or small forward. Obviously, and then actually we can move Caleb Martin or Prosper to the 3. So Klay's probably going to have to slide down to the 2. He's probably going to go down. He does go down 2 overall. Christie, I guess, is the backup shooting guard right now. He'd go down. So I don't know. Maybe we leave Klay at small forward and one of these is going to have to go to the 3. So Prosper can go there and Martin can stay. Or I guess Prosper's taller. So move Martin to the 3. Something like that. So we'll have Klay and Caleb Martin here. Christie, who actually I guess is the starter. So we can actually move Klay there regardless. So Klay Thompson will be moved there. And he might even regress even more, which sucks. But sure, his contract could be used at the deadline too. But Martin Durant and then Prosper AD, Lively, and then once Kyrie's signed, and we just need a backup 5, I think, and a backup point guard would be great. So we have like Monty Morris or AJ Mitchell, who's always a steal, but I'm not going to go for him today. We bring DSJ back to Dallas, I guess. Give me Monty Morris on a minimum, I guess, and then let's see what center maybe we can go after. So there's Steven Adams, there's Kevon Looney, there's Drummond. Obviously Kaloni and Drummond are usually my best friends here, but I guess we can try for Jalen Williams, see what he can do for us. So bring in Jalen Williams, so Kyrie gets signed. J-Dub, or no, sorry, not J-Dub. Jalen Williams is going to be signed, but that's not J-Dub. Obviously, J-Dub remains on the Thunder. Trey Jones wouldn't have been a bad backup point guard option either, but we got Monty Morris already, so let's just go player progression, and let's see what this is looking like. So we have Durant and Kyrie still regressing, Davis and Kyrie still regressing. Lively's up to an 84. Klay is down to a 75 overall. So, like I said, his contract is probably going to be used at the deadline. He's making $60 million. Should be able to help us bring in a little bit of something there. So that's probably what we'll do with him. But he will be playing until the deadline, probably. So, I'm curious to see what this big 3 is going to be able to accomplish, though, according to 2K. So, it should be fun. And I really do see this as a realistic possibility in real life. I do think Dallas is not totally off the table for Kevin Durant, especially if he wants to go there. It sounds like Phoenix values his opinion a little bit, because they didn't value it, then they would have just traded him to the Warriors and not even asked of his opinion, obviously. So sounds like they are going to listen to him. So if he says he wants to go play with Kyrie, which they've played together before, as we all know, then maybe it happens. So we'll see. But here is rotation. So you have Kyrie Irving, Max Christie, Durant, AD, Lively. I like it. With Jalen Williams, Caleb Martin, Prosper, and Monty Morris. That leaves Klay completely out of the rotation, but I can't really get behind that. He's still making quite a bit of money, so I think leaving him out of the rotation is kind of goofy. So we're going to put him back in. He's going to only get 10 minutes a night. I might give him, since we're going to try to sell him at the deadline, I think I'm going to give him 18 a night, or maybe even more than that. We'll give him 20 a night. So we'll give him 20 minutes a night, and then we'll try to sell him off the deadline for whatever we can bring in that's making around 16 million. So I will see you guys after the trade deadline, 100%, because I want to use Klay's contract. So far, we're off to a pretty good start. We'll see if it hangs on that way, and hopefully have a decent little trade for us at the deadline that we can use with Klay's contract. So by far and away, the best player we're being offered at the deadline is Donte DiVincenzo, which I don't hate the idea of. Definitely could bring him in. What's he doing this season? 10.5 points on 31% shooting from 3. Low key, Klay is having a much better season than DiVincenzo, so this is, like I said, by far and away the best offer we're getting. Like, yeah, we could take Keaton Wallace and Terrence Mann or Rui Hachimura or something like that, and then Barnes really doesn't do it for me. But I think we might actually just hang on to Klay Thompson. He's actually having a solid season at 75 overall, 41% from 3, 12 points per game. So I'm going to let him stick around. It would be nice to get him another ring anyway. So if we're able to do that this year. So I said I was going to trade him to the deadline, but since he has another year on his contract, we can kind of wait till the offseason to do that. So as long as he doesn't retire on us, we can still use his salary in the offseason. So I'm going to stick with Klay because I didn't like any of the offers there other than DiVincenzo. But even then, Klay's having a better season. So we might as well just rock with Klay, and we'll see what we can do in the offseason with him. So at the end of year 2, Anthony Edwards wins MVP, averaging 40 points per game. So that's pretty absurd, obviously. Shout out to Anthony Edwards. They won a championship last year, so maybe they could win it again. Flag? Oh, wow. So the Spurs had the #1 pick, and they didn't take Flag. So they must have taken Ace Bailey, maybe? Or maybe it took Dylan Harper. I guess we'll see. Josh Giddey, 6th man of the year for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Women defensive player, and Jarvis Walker, most improved. Devin Booker, clutch player. So, of course, he's going off now with nobody else there to help him. And then Tom Thibodeau, coach of the year, and Zachary Staples, user executive. So, I'll be first team. I'm assuming Booker makes one of these, right? Like, he was damn good. Yeah, there he is. So, do we have anybody? That was the question. I know our scoring was kind of split across the board, so nobody represents the Dallas Mavericks, which is quite shocking. But Anthony Davis represents us as all defensive first team, which is great. And all offensive second team. Charles making it for the Bucks is nice. And then all rookie teams. So, it looks like, oh, yeah, the Spurs took Ace Bailey instead. He averaged 13 for them. And that's about it for us. So let's go take a look. As we are the first in the West, we finished up at 58-24, so we were very good, which is awesome. Let's take a look at the player stats. But of course, none of this matters. It's all about winning a championship. So 25 from Kevin Durant coming in, which is awesome. We do have to extend him, which I don't think I can do that right now, right? I think I have to wait. Yeah. So extension will be, definitely needed. I would love to see the Lakers round 1. I think it'd be a ton of fun, dealing with Luka Doncic, obviously, but we'll see. But after that, Durant 25, Kyrie 23, Anthony Davis 19, and then 13 from Klay. So like I said, Klay was actually pretty good for regressing. He gave us a 44% from 3. I don't know how many threes he was shooting a game, but I mean, it looked like he put up a decent amount. So shout out to Klay Thompson. But let's see who we get to play, and the Lakers will not be one of them, unfortunately. So it'll be the Golden State Warriors. So we get to play Jimmy Butler, Stephen Curry, and then obviously it's the team that the Warriors that Durant did not want to go to. So we'll see how this goes. So somebody in current round against Golden State. We will be down 2-1. Okay, do we even the series? Yes, we do. Can we go up 3-2? Yes, we do. And we beat them in 6. Okay, so it was kind of scary hours there for a second. We're on to round 2. And now I get Minnesota and Sacramento on the other side as we get to deal with OKC. So this one should be a very tough series, obviously, but I am prepared. One other thing I want to do, though, also is we need to push this to a 9-man rotation. So they put Prosper in there, but again, Klay Thompson's been so good. I mean, what did he do in that first series? I guess we should look at that. So 40% from 3. So Klay has to stick in the rotation to me. And we're going to give him his 20 minutes because he's been doing a good job. So we'll switch him and Prosper, I think, just for the seniority purposes. Go something like that and give Klay 19 minutes a night. All right, so let's see if we can't continue this run here. So game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4, 3-1, and we beat them in 5. So we're on to the conference finals, and we get to deal with Minnesota. We played in round 1 last year, and they did beat us. They left, so Julius Randle left, which makes sense why, obviously Anthony Edwards is scoring everything. So he's averaging 43 in the playoffs, which is just insane. But sure, Gobert is still the center. JRE is their new power forward. So outside of Anthony Edwards, you really probably should dare someone else to score on here. I know Dillingham is fine and all, but Edwards would be the guy. So as long as we can lock up Anthony Edwards somehow, which is easier said than done, we'll see. Max Christie shooting 50% from 3 in the playoffs so far. All right, let's go and see if we can beat the Timberwolves. So game 1 goes to them. Game 2, 2-0. Anthony Edwards, the one-man wrecking crew, 3-0. Wow. So he takes down a big 3 of his own, which is wild. So Anthony Edwards gets it done, and we'll see if a Klay Thompson trade makes things better. The Timberwolves, they lose to the Celtics this time. That was literally a rematch of last year, and they didn't win this time. So LeBron James is going to call it. Burks retires. Klay, oh, I want to keep him. I want to make sure he doesn't retire because I want to use his salary. So Klay is going to be coming back, but we're going to trade him. I actually don't mind what he did last year for us, but still going to trade him. So we'll go take a look at some of these. I need to fix like 3 of these picks here. Like Brooklyn Rockets should not have the Brooklyn's pick anymore. The Wizards shouldn't. Yeah, you guys know. So I'm going to fix these picks. Heat get number 1 though, and then we'll evaluate what hopefully a Klay Thompson trade could bring us in, because that's where things will be upgraded. I do want to keep Jason Kidd though, because I mean, we still made it to the conference finals with them. Okay, I guess I thought we had. I mean, it said I had the money to offer that. Why was I able to offer that if that's too much? Let's see. Okay, now he signs. All right, so Kidd's brought back, and now we'll go fix those picks, and I will see you guys with a Klay Thompson trade. So when it comes to a Klay Thompson trade, by far and away, my favorite player to bring in would be Anthony Melton. He didn't play for Sacramento last year, but he's a pretty good player in the 2K simulation, and a pretty solid player in real life too. Obviously, he had a season-ending injury this year, but I'm not doing this much. There was an original trade earlier. Yes, we could get the 23rd overall pick. We have to trade 2 first to make that happen, though. I can't get behind that. Preferably, we actually keep a first-round pick out of this, and somehow we can just do like a second-round pick, but don't know if that'll be enough. And we can't attach salary in the trade, so this might make things interesting. So they want our 20. Okay, so you know what would be even better is if we could find a way to get the 23rd picks. We swap picks, and then we get a second out of it. Okay, so they want a first swap, and they'll give me a second-round pick. I can't get behind that, man. I really can't. So I'm just going to draft. So Melton was the best player I could have gotten. DiVincenzo was offered to me again, though. We're going to take Connie Rooks here out of Louisville. I can't attach salary with Klay Thompson because we're well over the second apron right now. The Lively and Prosper will be accepted. And Jalen Williams, a free agent, who is actually, let me look at what he did for us last year, because I didn't really pay attention to that. So Durant's a free agent. And then let's see what Jalen Williams did last year for us. Is it necessary to try to bring in a new big man? No, he's actually pretty good. So I actually wouldn't mind bringing him back as our back in 5 again. But again, let me try a Klay Thompson trade here. The Strus being offered is, I guess, interested KCP. If DiVincenzo's offered to me again, I might have to take it. But now he's not even being offered to me, so that makes sense. What if I threw in a second-round pick? Vince Williams actually doesn't sound too bad either. So maybe we do the Vince Williams trade. So you know what? We don't have to attach a second. We simply dump Klay to the Grizzlies. We get Vince Williams, who will be obviously better than Klay next year because Klay will regress even more. But it's not a great return, don't get me wrong, but you know, whatever, we're gonna do it. So just like that, Vince Williams is brought in. Now, what is Durant asking for? So the Lakers are on it, Chicago's on him, and the Pistons are on him. But obviously, we're gonna come in hot here and give him a 2-year deal because he's 37 at this point. So I don't expect him to sign like a 5-year contract. So, but right out of the gate, we're only his 3rd offer. So let's go see if we can't make the offer better, because obviously Durant's the theme of this video. So losing him would be kind of counterintuitive. So I guess we'll give him more money and we'll give him a 2-year deal. And I guess I'll throw him the no trade clause as well to see if that ups the offer. We're still not his #1 offer. Wow, that's actually pretty wild. So the Lakers are in on him, give him no trade clause. Do I have to give him 3 years? Like, sure, I'll do 3 years. If that doesn't help it, then maybe we have to let him sign with the Lakers, and then we'll just bring him back, because obviously I'm not going to let him walk in this video because he's the title of it. So 57.4. We'll go no trade clause, player option. Does that do it? So let's see. Now is someone offer? Still not. So looks like regardless, you know what? We'll just take Luka Doncic back then. No, I'm just kidding. But all right. So Durant signed with us. All right, cool. So Durant chose us, even though it looked like he wasn't going to. So we got a $15 million trade exception that could be interesting to use. I just don't know if you have the assets to attach with it, really. So that'll be interesting to kind of look at, though. And then Jalen Williams, I do want to bring him back. Although, like I said, since we only traded a second, technically, we might be able to do something with that trade exception. I guess if there's one thing I would do, it'd be for a different 5. It's a $15 million exception. So if we could attach, like, maybe we could go for Robert Williams, attaching a draft pick. Like, we only have 2 picks to offer. But let's see if the Blazers would play ball. So could we get Robert Williams with this exception? And let's say we do this first. I mean, that's probably not enough. Yeah, we're not giving you Christie, and I can't even do that anyway. What about this 20-30 unprotected? Okay, so Christie is no. So we're not doing that. So no thank you on that. All right, so let's see what other centers maybe could be interesting. Let's see if Alex Sarr, just kidding. There's no way that'd be accepted. Hey, Kyrie for Poole. Yeah, you can go kick rocks, buddy. Okay. I'm not going to try this too much longer, but let's just try a couple more times with some random center. This is what? A $50 million trade exception. So we can't do Yaka Pirtle. Jalen Smith, no. Grant Allen's making way too much, obviously. Porzingis, no. Zubac's making too much money. Edie, I guess, is possible. Okongwu barely isn't enough. Khalil Ware, no. Mark Williams got paid. Mark Kessler got a bag. Valanciunas, no thank you. Yeah. Mitchell Robinson, I guess, is my last resort, and it looks like he's not on the Knicks anymore. Valanciunas, we already looked at. Adams, Gogo Badadste. I guess Badadste is interesting. Then there's Sharp. But at this point, maybe we just wait till the deadline to look at our options. Stewart, I guess, is interesting. But yeah, we probably have to wait. We'll probably just try to bring back Jalen Williams, and he'll be our backup center. So maybe at the deadline, we can use that trade exception. We might even get an extra pick granted to us. We'll see if there's anything of value under $15 million at the deadline we could bring in. So Jalen Williams will come back, and he will be up to 79. So that's nice. And Caleb Martin is up. Williams does not go down. So everything looks good. So we'll run it back. We made it to the conference finals last year. Unfortunately, fell short to a dominant Anthony Edwards. I'm honestly hoping they bring in help. I think that'd be better if he wasn't the one shooting the ball, I would say, in the 2K sim. If there was another star paired with him, it'd probably be better. But we'll see. Maybe we don't even run into them next year, and they won't even be an issue. But we'll find out. So here is the rotation for year number 3. Kyrie Irving, Max Christie remains the backcourt. Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, Derek Lively, Jalen Williams, Caleb Martin, Prosper, and Vince Williams rounds rotation. So that looks pretty good. And then let's see what the Timberwolves are looking like now. Did they bring in any type of help? Okay, so they have McDaniels, and they drafted Derek Queen, and they brought in Chris Middleton, I guess. So that's not much of anything different. But as a deadline, again, we will stop there because we have this trade exception we could potentially use if there's anything we like. But if I don't see the deadline, then of course I'll see at the end of this season where hopefully we might be able to go win it all. We have not been able to do that. Minnesota has been the team that's beat us each time, so we'll see if maybe third time is a charm. We're able to beat them in this third season, which would be pretty awesome. So we're going to talk to the Chicago Bulls about the potential of bringing Lonzo Ball in using this trade exception to be our brand new backup point guard. So we're going to simply trade a pick swap and a second to see if they would do this. Let's see. They do not agree to it. So I can't get to 2 firsts for Lonzo. That seems kind of extreme. So there is an insurance plan I have. So Lonzo Ball will not be an option, which sucks. Would have been great. But another guy I was kind of looking at was maybe Peyton Pritchard. This one would probably be tough to pull off too. They want Max Christie. I'm not doing that. So I guess I can get to 2 firsts for Pritchard. But okay, so they want Caleb Martin, Jonathan Isaac. Technically, I'm not supposed to attach in a salary, I believe, to a trade exception, and 3 firsts is just too extreme anyway. So Pritchard will not be gotten either. The next option that I kind of looked at, and funny enough, he was obviously just on the team, but he's having a damn good season, is Jaden Hardy. So he's averaging 17 points per game right now for the Phoenix Suns. Now, his payday does go up after 2 years, but he's making dirt cheap money for the next 2 years. So I want to see if we can make this happen. This trade's illegal for the Suns, I guess. So never mind. We can't even make that happen. So could you just give me like a minimum guy too? Trade's illegal for us now. Whatever. If it's just minimums, sure. Although now it says, okay, so never mind. We can't even make this happen unless if we throw, do we have to throw 2 players in here? Is that what I have to do here? Okay, so we'll try this. So an exception, ignore the minimum. Oh, wait, that's 2 firsts for Jaden Hardy. Although he's having a damn good season. Let's try 1 first before we do anything. And they want Colin Gillespie. And again, they want to bring me, they want to give me Najee Marshall back. Sure, we'll do it. So just like that, we'll have, that was, I think, somewhat of an illegal trade in the new CBA. But I like bringing in Jaden Hardy back to the team to be the 6th man off the bench. So I like that a lot. Now Caleb Martin, Najee Marshall is the bottom of your rotation. But I think that looks good. So we'll rock with it. I will see you guys at the end of year 3. I'm hoping this leads to a championship, but we shall see. Jaden Hardy should be an amazing addition off the bench at another scoring punch. I'm happy to bring him back to Dallas. But we shall see how it all works out. The Wembanyama wins MVP. AJ Debanza is on the Miami Heat, wins Rookie of the Year. Giddey's your 6th man in Memphis. Wemby Defensive Player, and Jabari's your most improved. And Cam Thomas Clutch Player, and Gary Popovich Coach of the Year, and Aaron Phillips is your executive. So here's your NBA first team, All-NBA second, and All-NBA third. Offensive first team, we get Anthony Davis again, and that's awesome. An all-rookie team. which we didn't really have. So we are the second seed in the West, and Minnesota is on the other side of the bracket, but they'll have to deal with the Spurs. So hopefully the Spurs just knock them off. The Spurs have, of course, drafted Ace Bailey and now Cameron Boozer in the last 2 years. And they still have Stephon Castle. So yeah, they have a pretty intimidating roster, but we don't have to worry about them, at least for now. Maybe we face them eventually. I still want to play LA, but I don't even think we can. So just kidding. So we get the Warriors again, who we were able to beat last year. They still have the similar team other than Bol Bol's now their new starting power forward. You know, I'd be pretty upset if we lost to this roster. I won't lie to you. But let's see how it goes. So somebody to play in. Denver is going to be playing. Wow. So a Jokic versus Wembanyama 7-game series sounds like a ton of fun. But all right. Focus on the Warriors, simulate current round, and we will beat them in 5. Now we get to deal with OKC, who we were able to beat last year as well. But San Antonio and Minnesota on the other side. San Antonio barely beat Denver. Minnesota swept, obviously, the Rockets. So OKC at this point has kind of the same roster. We were able to beat them earlier, so hopefully we can do that again. So game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to us. So far, so good. But they could even it up. And nope, 3-1. Did we beat them in 5? And yes, we do. And we don't have to deal with Minnesota as the Spurs swept them. So this will be interesting to see how this goes, because obviously we haven't had to deal with the Spurs. We know Minnesota's owned us throughout the video, but we'll see. Also, I want to look at the stats so far for the playoffs to see how that's been going. So Anthony Davis averaging, so Jaden Hardy has been excellent. He's been averaging 19 in the playoffs, even with all these scores. So he's been great in his role. So I'm glad we're able to bring him back. But San Antonio, man, so we'll see how this goes. Game 1 goes to us. Good start. Game 2, they even it up. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4 goes to us. Do we beat them in 5? No. Okay, I'm going to simcast Game 6 because I have a feeling if we go to a Game 7, things become pretty terrifying because who knows? It could be anybody's game at that point. But if we can take care of business at home here, we're in the finals. It's going to be close, though, down the stretch. Can we take the lead back? We do. Looks like we may hang on to it, but it's going to be closer. I think we're going to win, and we barely beat them in Game 6, but a win is a win, and now we're in the finals. We get Chicago or Orlando. So who would I rather play? I have no idea, but I think both teams are beatable. We'll see who we get. It will be the Bulls. So Kyrie Irving versus, Kyrie Irving is the Conference Finals MVP, and Jabari is your Conference Finals MVP. So Chicago has a very interesting team. D'Lo's their leading guy. I'm assuming Kobe White's the leading scorer, if I had to guess. Let's see. He's averaging 18. I mean, they kind of have just a spread of the wealth, it looks like. I'd be pretty devastated if we lost this team. I won't lie to you. So let's see. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to us. And it looks... Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. 3-1. And we beat them in 5. So what a great way to end the video off. I almost jumped into that Mavericks and Spurs game. But thankfully, we got a very easy finals matchup. And Durant got himself another championship on a different team with the Warriors. So, it was with another big 3, but at the end of the day, a very fun video nonetheless. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your guys' thoughts on Durant and where you think he will go. There's been a lot that's been talked about with that, and it's a ton of fun to kind of speculate. But I will see you all at the... I will go ahead and end it here. Also, maybe later this week, we do a Suns rebuild where we don't trade Devin Booker. I may have done that in the past, though, already. So, I don't know. We'll see. Thank y'all for watching. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.